Welcome, fellow hunter. Bloodborne is one of my favorite games, and since I wanted to fully embrace being an off-brand Rusty, I decided to make a video on it. There are many bosses in Bloodborne. Many are good, some are the Witches of Hemwick. Today I will try to rank the 10 best ones. I fought all of them over the course of my 5 playthroughs, including the dungeon bosses and the old Hunters DLC's bosses, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. Dark Beast Paul is a boss I enjoy a great amount because it is in my favorite area of the game, the haunted Hyperlight Drifter village. I really like its design and attacks. It really reminds me of a dog that has been left in the rain for like 150 years. The real enemy, however, isn't the Pet Cemetery outcast, it is the camera. So basically the camera is one of the worst bosses in the game, and it also haunts you and follows you throughout the entire game. Pal, on the other hand, is really fun, and even though he isn't one of the most beloved bosses, I liked him since he is the cherry on top of the cake that is the extremely creepy hyperventilating guava village.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
Father Gascoigne is a boss that should be high on this list, but he isn't. That's only because on repeat playthroughs he just feels like your average hunter in a way. His first phase is just an axe, and his second phase is just a longer axe, and his third phase is, oh my fucking god, kill it with Molotov cocktails please. At first I thought he was Italian, so I have no idea how his name is actually pronounced since he is actually from Ireland. Anyway, the unsung hero of this boss is his backstory. While it doesn't improve the fight itself, it makes it sadder. So, if you don't have enough depression in your life, go and educate yourself on his backstory. Let me just tell you this. When the pig meets the daughter, you've brought the lamb to the slaughter. Yes, I regret making this rhyme.
Oh, amygdala. Oh, amygdala. Have mercy on the poor bastard.
Amygdala gets a lot of plus points for being the mid-tier prototype, and also a lot of minus points for being the mid-tier prototype and giving me PTSD. Amygdala is modeled after the part of the human brain which handles fear, the amygdaloideum. And it gets extra creepy once you realize they've been around the entire time. And you just didn't realize it because you were too dumb and you didn't have 40 insight. But the fight itself is really fun in my opinion. The only thing that holds it back significantly is its way too big HP bar and the fact that you only really deal damage when you hit it in his trypophobia inducing head. And maybe also because in one of the dungeons, I'm not going to pronounce that name, you have to fight her with half health and she kind of one-shots you, and I'm not trying to say like I've gone insane fighting her, but let's say my therapist is doing a lot of extra hours these days. So yeah, let's just forget this. Ebrietas, daughter of the Instakills, was actually one of my least favorite bosses for a long time, due to its what the fuck please die you disgust me with your Mikolash 2.0 one-shot bitch ass fuck you attack. But something changed. I guess my sanity just kinda went bye bye and I turned masochistic or something, but I kinda like the slug now. I think the design is really neat and is H.P. Lovecraft inspired art at its finest, and to be honest, it's like a love-hate relationship. Fighting her is like that one person or girlfriend or boyfriend that is kinda nice at first but really toxic deep down. You know, when you hang out and you're having fun and it's cool at first, but then she lifts her tentacles and shoots stars at your face and you die. Can anyone else relate to this? Or is it's just me? Okay, then let's move on. Santa went on a diet and it made him fucking angry. On the top of one of the best areas in the game, Martyr Lagares awaits you. And this is one of the scariest intro sequences in Bloodborne, I think. If you decide to fight him head on, he's gonna fuck you up. If you decide to fight him at a distance, he's gonna take you head on, if you understand what I mean. Honestly though, his head attack is absolutely fucking obnoxious and I cried quite a lot. Anyway, his other attacks look really nice and have a unique feel, especially his sword Tornado. Just stand behind some cover and hope he doesn't use his jumpy slice and dice attack and you will probably be fine. Lawrence is proof that I am a masochist. I absolutely hate this boss. I also absolutely love this boss. I think it's somewhat lazy in its design since it's just another boss, but it's on fire this time. But honestly, when I first beat him after like 20 tries, I laid down on the floor, breathing heavily and probably coming a bit. I was down to half of my life with no heroin esters left, so I was shaking when I gave him that last blow. A lot of his attacks are just about getting used to his hitboxes, but due to him two-shotting you every time, you basically have to heal up every time he deals damage. I kind of feel like I'm a kidnapped victim that fell in love with the kidnapper, except this time I came voluntarily and the other person wants to kill me and isn't a person but instead a giant barbecued poodle trying to fuck me up. Our boy Ludwig is something else. It's a mesmerizing battle through and through. If someone ever says that something looks like a Bloodborne boss, yeah, that's the boy they are referring to. It's also the second boss from the DLC that makes its way onto here, and well, it's not going to be the last one. Ludwig is scary, Ludwig is big, but Ludwig kind of finds his composure in the second phase.
My guiding moonlight.
While he basically just relentlessly attacks you in his first phase, he actually changes it up quite a bit by relentlessly attacking you in his second phase, but with a sword. And he is also a fair loser, so you can still have a relaxing chat with him after beating his ass.
It's like a magnet, just like, I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
Should be left well alone.
My relationship with Maria is a love-love relationship. She waits at the top of the research hall, a haunting DLC area, which is also one of my favorites. She really feels like a boss we'd see in Dark Souls 3 and feels kinda like a distant relative, like a lost sister of Sister Fried, in a way. It's like a deadly dance in which she covers herself with fire and blood over the course of the fight, just like every prom I've ever been to. Honestly, I kind of felt bad since I really didn't have a problem at all with her. She is seen as one of the hardest bosses in Bloodborne, but I myself don't really see why. But she is definitely one of the best bosses and definitely better than the abomination that follows. I'm looking at you, living failures. Kos, as some say Cosm, is one of the best bosses I've ever fought. I love the atmosphere, it really feels like a final boss of one of the best DLCs I've ever played. Mechanically speaking, this is my favorite boss in Bloodborne. His attacks are fast and brutal, and he's kinda doing really good for being 1 minute old. The way his weapon looks like chewed up bubblegum makes me kinda wanna eat bubblegum, but then I remind myself what his weapon actually is, and yeah, I don't want bubblegum anymore. His second phase is an unleashed monstrosity of a fight in which he can fuck you up faster than you can say Isabel would be the best Bloodborne boss if Bloodborne allowed more blood and brutal bashings. That said, there can only be one number one.
always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
These lines always send shivers down my spine. Gehrman the First Hunter is the pinnacle of Bloodborne's story. The fight itself is really great, but the story, the design for the battlefield and of course the music are the real winners here. I love this fight. The cutscene I just showed you might be one of the best in any From Software game. Fighting the person who has helped you through the entirety of the game is always something of a bittersweet ending. I really can't say anything that hasn't been said 100 times by now, so instead of rambling on, I'm going to let the music fade out a bit, and thank you for watching. Fear not the dark, my friend. Fear the old blood.